Good morning, everybody. Guess where I am? Well, I've had to work this morning, so I am home alone. And home alone, good chance I'll get in trouble. But y'all don't tell her I'm in the shop. What I wanted to do today, I've been wanting to do this for a long time. Excuse me, I'm trying to hold the camera and talk at the same time. We're going to do a geography lesson on state of Florida. Now this is mainly for my friends up north and out west and all, and people that don't live around this part of the country. And when I say I live in Florida, first thing that comes to most people's mind is beach. And the next thing comes to mind is Miami, which is down here. Hope y'all can see this. I got a light pointing at it. And the next thing that comes to mind for most people is Disney World, Disneyland, whichever one that is. I've been there twice. The last time I was there, I think I was 15 years old, I believe. So whatever's there, I don't hardly remember anything about it. But let me show y'all what I know about Florida. Here, against Gainesville, this is where I had my surgery, where my doctors are. I know how to get there. From here down, I have not a clue. I've never been farther south than Orlando, back when I was, like I said, I was 14, 15, something like that. Never been down here. Don't know anything about it. But I do have some friends that live at real close to Okeechobee, which is is on the list of places I really want to go one day and go fishing. And I have invited to go down there and go fishing with them. And I will get there one of these years. It is on my list of places I want to travel and go to. Now all this down here, Miami, the Keys, I have absolute no interest in going down there. Or anywhere else except for here. Now I've got very good friends up in the Jacksonville area. I've been there. Let me see if I can get closer to you. Been to their house. Outside of the city, beautiful, beautiful place. The city itself, we didn't go all the way to it, but we got close enough to it to know that I don't want to go there. Any big city, I don't care for cities. All right, now back over this way. Of course, up here is Georgia. Alabama borders up here. Tallahassee, that's the state capital. I don't know anything about this part of the country, part of the state. And let's see, we'll move on over here. Pensacola's here. All right, that's where I was born and raised for the most part. Now we moved back and forth from Pensacola to Alabama, back and forth when I was a kid. We went wherever there was work, because where my dad went, wherever there was work, so that's where we lived. We actually lived here in Milton one time when I was a kid, up in the north end of the county, out in the woods, which I liked it there. Wish we'd have stayed there, but when you're a kid, you go wherever your parents go. Now, in relation to all this stuff that y'all think of Florida, what I actually know is this is Walton County. From here, east. All right, I'm very, very familiar with. All right, I actually live right up in here. 15 miles from the Gulf of Mexico. And probably 30 miles, 25, 30 miles, something like that, to the Alabama line. So where I live in Florida is not what a lot of y'all think of Florida. Now we do have nice beaches down through here. And y'all might think it's odd, but we don't go to the beach. When I was a teenager, hung out down there a little bit. But anymore, we don't go. It's so crowded. In the wintertime, we might go a time or two because there's nobody there in the winter but snowbirds. Which snowbird is people that come up north and come down here for the winter. It's what we call snowbirds, which don't bother us much. You know, they're all over the place, but they stay down here on the beach. But now my county here, Santa Rosa County, from the interstate north, get away from Milton, is a Blackwater State Forest, is a big chunk of it. Eglin Air Force Base is part of it, down on the south end. And most of all this up here is the farms. Cotton, peanuts, soybeans, you know, that type of thing. And the next county over here in Pensacola is Escambia County, which Pensacola is one of the highest crime-ridden places in the state. Like I said, when I graduated, me and Janine got married. We lived there for not quite a year, and we left and came over here because the neighborhood that we lived in was a neighborhood actually where my mother grew up. And y'all know what happens to neighborhoods. It went down, 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 and now it's the worst neighborhood in the county itself. Now the north end of the county, Escambia County, there's still some farms up there, still some farmland. But they're building all kind of stuff up there. And to put it nicely, it's basically a third world country over here. Except along the beaches. That's where and because they put most of the money into the beaches and tourism and all that is why the rest of the county is lacking, in my opinion. But we still have a nice quiet little town over here. And of course that's why we stay here. Alright, this next county over here, Okaloosa County, most of that is Eglin Air Force Base. A lot of woods, quite a few woods still left, hunting woods and all up this way. That's where my old hunting camp was, where I used to go. The next county over, Walton County, that's where my mother's people, most of them are from there. A lot of cousins over there still. Well, I don't know any of them. Hadn't seen any of them since I was a little bitty kid. So basically I got a lot of family there, but I don't know them. The only family I have is our immediate family that lives right here by us. Some scattered through Alabama here and there. And of course all of you guys, your YouTube guys and my Facebook friends, I consider most of y'all family too, wherever you are. So. But there you have it. Just a little quick geography lesson on Florida. I do have quite a few friends scattered around the state, you know, Facebook friends and YouTube friends. But this is the part that we call home. And we like it. Like I said, I don't know anything about all this. So y'all don't confuse. When I say I live in Florida, don't confuse us with this part down here. This is all from Jacksonville south, we consider South Florida. We don't know nothing about it. So that's that. Now, bear with me. I'm going to walk back over this way if I can get past all this junk in the floor. And let's talk for just a minute. Let's look at that right quick first. I got that just before I went to Gainesville. Ain't that cool? Some USA made files. Oldies but goodies. And you'll see those again later on. Now before I get back to knife making here in a few weeks, I've got to do it one more time. I've got to go through this shop and clean up, organize. I think I'm going to invest in the garbage company to bring me a dumpster and park it out here for a week, because I've got so much stuff that just I don't need. I save stuff for no reason sometimes. No, we don't need that on. Y'all bear with me. I really admire some of you guys, some of you YouTube channels. Y'all are so good with the camera and get it just where you want it and all this. And when I grow up to be a big YouTuber, maybe I'll get my camera work fixed up one day. Pardon me. Had my first outing yesterday. Master Sergeant came over. We talked a little bit, visited, had a good time. Then we decided we'd ride up to the hardware. And our local hardware is a dealer for case, pocket knives. And they've got big display in there of all kind of pocket knives, camping gear, military stuff, tools, you name it, it's in there. So we spent a little over an hour wandering around in there, looking around and visiting, having a good time. Tired me out when I come home. I was just wore out, but that's the first time I've been out, since my follow-up appointment. But I slept pretty good last night. Got up this morning, feel pretty good. I've cut my pain medicine in half, so that means everything's getting better. I don't need it quite as much as I did. Just right in here is the main sore spots right now, and that's to be expected. That'll go on for another couple of weeks. But now in the meantime, while I still can't do anything, can't lift, as soon as I finish this video, I'm going to turn off the lights and I'm going to leave out of here. Because the longer I stay in here, I won't start wanting to pick up this and pick up that, move this and move that, and I'm not up to that yet. So I'm taking off back to the house as soon as I get this done. Now what I want to do, I need a haircut again. I want to throw out a challenge to you grandparents out there, and even some of you parents. I've been looking online, and I'm trying to come up with some worksheets. I'm gonna get somebody to run me up to the library one day this week, or maybe next week. Library where they got real books, paper books. And I think we bear a responsibility to our grandchildren to teach them things. Of course, gardening, outside stuff, hunting, fishing, all that, of course, that's part of our job to teach them, in my opinion. But also, our granddaughter, the oldest one's 8 years old, was talking the other day about something, and it came up for 2 cups of something. So, I know she's a little young from teach that in school, but weights and measures, I think, is a very important thing for everybody to know. And I'm not sure that they teach that in school anymore. Because my baby daughter, the one that graduated this year, I asked her something about, cups and quarts and pints and all that, and she sort of knew. But also, now she's about to start culinary college. So she does know a little more about, how to measure stuff, in cooking and things like that. Excuse me, I thought that cough was gone. But anyway, what I'm going to do is get some worksheets up and start teaching my granddaughter weights and measures. And how to read a ruler, things like that. To try to, let her know that everything that you need to know, you don't need to punch into a computer. A lot of it needs to be up here. So you grandparents out there, might be something you want to think about if you're lucky enough to have your grandkids close by to you. Even if they're older grandkids. But when they're, first, second, third grade, I think that's the perfect time to try to teach them, because they're little sponges. Anything you tell them, they remember. So that's what I'm going to do, and I'll try to work it into some videos as we go along. But I think it's a good idea. What do y'all think? And let's see, what else was I going to say? See there, some things never change. The old memory is sort of, that way. But I added 2 more people to my knife making list last night. Thank y'all for your orders, and I'll get to them just as soon as I can, which y'all are on the list. Let's see, I think I'll go back in now, since I forgot what else I was going to say. Hope this wasn't boring. And y'all think about that challenge. Let's get these kids taught something besides punching it into the computer or the phone or whatever. get those little brains working a little bit. Plus, some of us need a little refresher on some of this stuff too. Alright, before I go to rambling, thank y'all for watching. Thank you for your support. Y'all have a good day, and I'll see you later.